The position that drives everything is quarterback.
What do you expect from him this season in this Jets offense?
Look, I think it's reasonable to expect a 3,000-yard season, 20-plus TDs.
Who is taking that next step forward? We're taking a look at 10 quarterbacks entering pivotal years and predicting who's going up and who's about to come crashing back down. Fallback, Sam Darnold, Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold's 2024 season was one of the most unexpected glow-ups in the league. After years of being little more than a punchline, Darnold stepped into Kevin O'Connell's offense in Minnesota and finally looked like the player that everyone projected back in 2018. The system was clean, the reads were defined, and oh yeah, he was throwing to Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson with a rock-solid offensive line in front of him. Not a bad setup, to say the least. But that situation is gone now, and in Seattle, Darnold finds himself in a far more fragile ecosystem. No O'Connell, no Jefferson, and a whole lot more pressure on Darnold to create offense himself. And the Seahawks' offensive line is pretty shaky, especially up the middle, which doesn't bode well for Darnold, who struggles against an aggressive pass rush. There is familiarity with Clint Kubiak, who worked with Darnold in San Francisco, but come on. Let's not act like that's a magic fix. Darnold's success in 2024 was just as much about the environment as it was about any personal development. He was comfortable, protected, and surrounded by elite talent. And unfortunately, that's just not the case anymore. Darnold does deserve credit for resurrecting his career, but expecting another step forward in this situation is not realistic. He won't completely crater, but the 2024 resurgence looks like it'll be short-lived. Step forward, Geno Smith, Las Vegas Raiders. Geno Smith's second act in the NFL didn't just surprise people, it flat out stunned them. After years in the wilderness, he became a Pro Bowler in Seattle, led the league in completion percentage, and silenced every single critic who had him stamped as a career backup. But after a rough 2024 in Seattle, it started to feel like the magic had run out. That's why his move to Las Vegas might actually be exactly what he needs. The Raiders brought in Pete Carroll, and by reuniting him with Geno, we could be gearing up for Geno's revival part 2. If anyone knows how to maximize Geno's skill set, it's the coach who helped revive his career in the first place. The comfort level and trust between the two shouldn't be understated. Plus, there will be a big difference maker this time around in the form of Ashton Jeanty. The rookie running back out of Boise State is already drawing buzz around the league as a do-it-all weapon. He's fast, explosive, and dangerous both between the tackles and as a pass catcher. One thing is for certain, Jeanty's presence is going to make life so much easier for Geno. Stretching defenses horizontally, forcing linebackers to freeze, and giving Geno cleaner looks off play action. It might be 2022 all over again, but Geno is in the right place, with the right coach, and the right backfield weapon to help him thrive and take a step forward in the twilight of his career. Fallback, Aaron Rodgers, Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, Aaron Rodgers flashed a little life late last season in New York. A few vintage throws, a few moments that reminded you of who he used to be, but that's just it. Used to be. At 40, going on 50 years old, and still recovering from a torn Achilles, the decline is very real, and it is not slowing down. And now he lands in Pittsburgh, where the situation is even worse. And Rodgers, for all his savvy, no longer has the juice to elevate average talent the way that he once did. This is not 2016. He can't just flick his wrist and make magic happen anymore. The Steelers will try to squeeze one more year out of him, but the reality is that they're clinging to a name, not the game. Rodgers might start the year under center, but don't be shocked if it ends with him watching from the sideline while the next era begins. This is the end of the road for 12. Step forward, Drake Maye, New England Patriots. The Patriots have been chasing ghosts ever since Tom Brady left, but things are starting to feel a bit different in the greater Boston area now that they have Mike Vrabel running the operations and all the positive signs that Drake Maye showed in year one. For the first time in a long time, I guess since Mac Jones' rookie season, Patriots fans actually have a vision at quarterback that they can believe in. And it seems that they may have finally found a guy who can bring them back to the living. He's raw, sure, and no doubt that there will be rookie mistakes. I mean, that's just the cost of doing business when you have a younger quarterback. But Maye has everything that you'll want in a modern quarterback. Size, arm talent, mobility, and a calmness in the pocket that you just cannot teach. Plus, Vrabel should be bringing some much-needed stability to that organization and put the right system around him to help foster his development and provide support. It would probably be a stretch to say that Drake Maye is going to shoot out of a cannon week 1 and put up MVP numbers or win the AFC East in year 2 of his his young career, but he might just make the Patriots relevant again, and that is more than they've been able to say in a long, long time. Fall back, Tua Tagovailoa, Miami Dolphins. For all of the gaudy numbers that Tua Tagovailoa has put up and stretches during his career, there is still serious cause for concern about his viability long-term as a franchise guy at the position. He's always been a quarterback who relies on timing, rhythm, and a clean pocket. When the conditions are right, he's as efficient as anyone. But when defenses adjust or the first read disappears, things get dicey, and they get dicey very fast. And now there's a different kind of pressure mounting in Miami, especially with the tension in that locker room, all thanks to Tyreek Hill, his star wide receiver who was outspoken about wanting to leave the team after last season's unceremonious end. And it's clear that the pressure is now mounting on his young head coach Mike McDaniel to do more than deliver big box scores early in the season. Expectations in Miami are trending one way, while performance shoots in the other. Not exactly the combination that you want to see. Furthering the issue, Tua's health has always been a concern. He's never truly made it through a season untouched. Add in the fact that the Dolphins didn't upgrade the offensive line and, well, the Fins could be gearing up for a disaster this year. To put it simply, the window in Miami is closing, and Tua might be the one it slams shut on if he ends up taking a step back this year like we expect him to. Step forward, Bo Nix, Denver Broncos. The maturity and work ethic that scouts touted during the draft process showed itself early and often, and Nix grew every week as a rookie. He got more comfortable in the pocket, cleaned up his footwork, and started making real NFL throws in tight windows. He played smart, decisive football, which is really all Sean Payton needs to work with. Now that he's got a full offseason under his belt, Payton is about to open up the playbook. You saw it late last season, the play-action boots. It just fits his skill set perfectly. Nix might not have a superstar cast around him, but hey, he does have a system. He's got coaching, and it looks like he's got control of the huddle, which is a very good recipe to take that leap in year 2. Fallback, Anthony Richardson, Indianapolis Colts. I guess it's hard to fall when you've barely gotten off the ground. But Anthony Richardson came into the league as a project with jaw-dropping athleticism and raw potential, and we are still waiting to see it materialize. Injuries cut his rookie season short, and instead of doubling down, the Colts brought in Daniel Jones this offseason, a clear sign that the organization is losing faith in its quarterback of the future. Say what you want about Jones, but teams don't hand out that kind of contract unless they are seriously hedging their bets, especially not to a guy like Daniel Jones. This is officially a make-or-break year for Richardson, and based on what we've seen so far, mechanical issues, inconsistent reads, and durability questions, we are not betting on a breakout. Step forward, Jayden Daniels, Washington Commanders. Jayden Daniels did more than show flashes in year 1. He had poise in the pocket, explosive playmaking with his legs, and more than enough wow throws. So much so that he took Washington to heights no one had expected, the NFC Championship game. But this is a what have you done for me lately league, and I think it's now time to take the leap. Luckily, Daniels seems like just the kind of guy ready to do that. Plus, the Commanders added Deebo Samuel this offseason, giving Daniels a monster who thrives on short, quick throws. Perfect for a young quarterback, especially one who has a guy like Terry McLaurin stretching the field. The organization has done a 180 top-down. Dan Quinn is running the show, but make no mistake, this team is going to live or die with Daniels' development. And based on everything that we've seen so far, I think he's ready to take that jump in his sophomore campaign. Fallback, Michael Penix Jr., Atlanta Falcons. Falcons fans are desperate for something to believe in, and Penix has quickly become the face of that hope. He's got the arm, he's got the poise, he's got that college tape that looks great in highlight reels. And after years of stopgap quarterbacks, there's finally a sense of maybe this is the guy. But, well, here's the thing. We don't think that he is. Not yet, at least. He's a relatively stationary quarterback behind a line that struggled in pass protection last season. And while Drake London is talented, this still is not a top-tier supporting cast. We think that this one gets worse before it gets better for Penix and the Falcons. Step forward, Justin Fields, New York Jets. Justin Fields is getting something in New York that he hasn't had since he entered the league with the Chicago Bears. A real opportunity. The Jets signed him to a 2-year deal, handed him the keys, and most importantly, didn't bring in competition. Tyrod Taylor is there as a safety net, sure, but this is Fields' team in 2025. His numbers last year in Pittsburgh were pedestrian. But to be fair to Fields, the coaching staff was super reluctant to unlock him with Russell Wilson waiting in the wings. New York has all the weapons a quarterback could want and will let Fields run wild and play free. He's in a market desperate for a quarterback savior, with the leash to match. If he delivers, he could rewrite the script of his career and bury the Jets' quarterback carousel once and for all. But hey, which quarterback do you think is most likely to improve in 2025? Which is most likely to fall off? Who do you think we got right here? Let us know in the comments section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.